Matt, you still here as well, too?
John Puskar.
I'm here.
Join the meeting.
Hey everyone, it's John Puskar.
Oh, John.
Hey, John.
John. Stand for pledge of allegiance.
To the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Eugene.
Join the meeting.
Any public participation? Hearing none, we'll move on. Item 3, approval of the meeting minutes dated December 8th, 2021.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
You got a second there.
I second also.
Steve Shelton.
Oh, sorry.
4A, WPCA Superintendent's Report.
To the Shelton WPCP report for the period of December 2021. The average daily flow is 2.2 million gallons per day. Our peak flow is 2.3 million gallons per day. We were in compliance with all our permit limits. Our effluent total nitrogen is 66 pounds per day. Our safety meeting for the month was on electrical safety. We had no,
Hey, Ed, I got a curious question for you.
yeah,
So the design of, like, let's say for BOD and for TSS, total suspended solids, what do you guys do to get it so to be so much better than what the design limits are?
well, the flow has a lot to do with it. We've been had a very low flow lately. And that's with Matt's help with design that, you know, is up.
So BOD will go down, BOD will go down because you're losing the bugs, basically?
We do introduce bugs into the system also.
Right, so that on a really heavy rainy month, that 94 might go down to 90 or something, no?
On a real heavy month, the BOD may go up. It may wash out.
Oh, wash them out,
our
okay.
bugs, and so we have to build up a new,
And how about total suspended solids, the same thing?
yes,
It's got to do with flow too, all
yes.
right, thank you.
We had another incident.
Hold on, there's gonna be a quiz afterwards for you guys for BOD and TSS. I'll ask the question, $5 if you get it right or not.
Okay.
Not you, not you. Some of the people on the board.
That's fine. Okay, we had another incident free month of another accident free month. We're up to 36 now. Our safety training was electrical safety, chemical consumables were the same as usual. With no noise complaints, we're up to 111 complaint-free months. No state issued odor complaints at the pump stations or the treatment plant. That's 43 months now. Our grease removal, that is good for total. For December for all the 5 pump stations was 500 pounds. That's 30 pounds more than last year's level. Preventive maintenance was on par with our normal maintenance. Our corrective maintenance was we repaired a faulty SVR valve switch, repaired the heater in the chlorine control room, replaced all filters on the blowers at factory service, and preventive maintenance on all 7 blowers.
All right, Ed, hold on one second. You're ahead of me. That's fine. Didn't you have a odor complaint recently? Who did I talk to that?
Not at the plant.
No, I
I've
thought it-
been order free for.
that's what I thought, but I
Years.
thought I remember hearing it from somebody and I said,
41 months, 40 years.
somebody maybe,
41 months.
I don't know.
52
Okay,
years, yeah.
go ahead. Sorry, keep going.
All SBRs are currently online. And as I said, for the crescent maintenance, we did have the factory
All
service.
right, so I'm gonna stop you again. You're going way faster than me, then I can keep up with you. So let's go back to Greece. You went past the Greece, right?
Yes,
Okay, so I know that mailer went out,
I was super happy with that.
right? And I had somebody, a couple people text me, what's this about? I said, well, a couple guys, and I'll be careful I say, I said, don't flush your feminine hygiene stuff down the toilet, guy. Joking. I said, well, we're trying to keep, but the thing we always talk about, and even when Tom was around, we always talk about, with grease, that it's not really, it's the residential more than it is commercial, but we spend so much time on commercial and not enough time on residential.
Yes,
I'd be curious if, and again, it's a mailer, people are like I said, text me, what is this? Well, it reads what it reads. If you're having spaghetti Sunday night, don't dump
most
this,
people from the old school still will pour their grease into a pot in the pan or something.
Right.
Don't pour it down the drain.
right,
Rather
Right.
than cook and just let it go.
right.
We have an opportunity in the upcoming Shelton
Yeah,
Life, we're
that's-
gonna get,
we're gonna talk
we're gonna get
about
a full page, but Ernie will talk.
No. That's what we both said at the same time. That we've got the Shelton Life coming up and we're gonna make another aggressive point about, this time we're gonna hit a little more on the fog stuff, fat oils and grease, and have that thing that you got in the mail, the
Right.
circular. So we're gonna hit on both topics.
Right.
It's my bad. We should have added something into this circular saying about grease, but we'll get the message out there.
Yeah, so the important thing too is, and when I was telling one of these guys that texted me, I called him, I says, you gotta understand too, one of the important things is it adds to monitoring this grease and taking the grease out of the pump stations adds to the cost
Right.
of running this plant,
Overhead thing.
Yeah. Right, so the maintenance for running the plant. I said, so if we can get everybody, or, if you can get a good part of the population not to dump their grease, their spaghetti sauce down the drain
Right.
Sunday night and Wednesday night, then, we might start, so people don't realize the cost impact. They think, what's the big deal? So I think maybe when you guys put that circular, you might want to mention the cost. And Matt, I know one time when you and I spoke about this a while ago, I think you or Virgil came up with a dollar value, what you kind of thought it might cost, because you guys had this issue, obviously, in other towns. Is that still true? Do you remember talking about that, Matt?
I don't remember what the dollar amount was, but yeah, we did kind of look at like, what the impact to the collection system was. We were talking about trying to explain to residents what would happen, how much it adds cost to the system and try to figure out, if we can come up with a number. I think that's maybe what it was.
Yeah, so if we're at $203 per EDU, and then you can come up and say, well, it costs us $2 an EDU, maybe, and I don't know if that's gonna have an impact on anybody, but if you can garner 10% or even 5% of that population that understands that, well, maybe it's gonna cost me another $2 an EDU, maybe it helps. So I don't know if you want to get together with Ernie and Pete and kind of like see if you can't ferret out some kind of number.
The problem is it's not going to be a number that's sensational enough that makes people like change their habits. Like if you say, oh, it's $2 a year on your sewer use fee, they'll laugh and like, that's not even a cup of coffee. That's the problem.
It's too coffee now.
Yeah, but this is this is John. I think though, to Mike's point, I really like that idea, and I agree with you. It's probably not sexy enough to sensationalize it, but even if we could message it around something like, because similar to Mike, I had a couple friends of mine, text me at making jokes, but it was a good, they're paying attention, right? It just shows that people are listening and
Right,
at least reading it before they throw it out. And I think even if we could say, hey, the reason we're the lowest rate in the region is because of the proactive nature that we take, and you play a part in this too, or something like that, just to get people's. I think Mike brings a good point, because I remember
That's a
when I
better way to
first
do it.
got on. Yeah, and I think that's, you don't have to do a ton of work, but we could kind of finagle that somehow. And then I think, because remind me, Mike, you said, I think when I first joined, I remember you telling me you guys ran like a campaign about can the grease, and you said it just wasn't as successful as you had hoped. But maybe you do something like this, it's kind of in the same light, it raises the proper awareness.
I don't know how successful any of these things are going to be, but I guess, when you're talking about a budget of what, $2,500 for advertising, printing and advertising, 6,000, not a lot of money. So it's in a percentage wise, I don't know what it is percentage wise of overall bill overall, but it's not a lot of money. So it's, hey, if we can get across to a couple people.
We had an opportunity with a young lady from, I think she's at high school now, I don't know if she was before, we had an offer on the table to do a presentation to the students, figuring the students, got what, 5,000 students in Shelton right now, probably, right? Would take the message home to the parents. Now, again, then we got into logistics of it, Tom and I, and it was like, all right, how many of those students are on septic versus how many are on sewers? And so, I mean, that's another thing to consider, to offer it as a means to educate the younger people to go home to mom and dad and say, don't dump the sauce down the drain, or don't dump that oil down the drain. That was Michelle Piccolo actually had that thought a couple of years ago.
Here's another thought too is, and Matt, I don't know if you've, but it maybe on our website, we put a little YouTube clip, a 2-minute YouTube clip, if she wants to do something.
Yeah.
And you put it on there for what it's worth. Again, I mean, we don't have a lot of money for advertising, which is fine, but we can find something. We decide that we want to put something as a YouTube clip. And
Yeah,
when
like the 2,000-pound grease ball in London they found over in the sewer.
Yeah.
We had a picture of that, we brought it one night.
yeah. So-
Just something that says, let's keep this out of Shelton, and show a picture of like, the London Greaseburg. And,
Well, maybe we can collect enough grease at these, and we can put it out in front of here. Just put it together. Nobody needs to know it didn't come out from one place. All right. Sorry, go ahead, Ed. You lost your place too, huh?
We're up to,
The corrective maintenance, I'll read it. We repaired the faulty SBR valve switch, we repaired the heater in the chlorine control room, replaced all filters on blowers, and factory service and preventive maintenance on all 7 blowers. All SBRs are currently online. For future work, is keep on top of all equipment and controls with daily checks and repair as needed. Our overtime management was as usual, and there's another page on
You picked this up from Steve.
This is a guesstimate of it. They go through all the plants in the state, and they create an algorithm, obviously, to come up with a number. So we will get money back between $10,000 and $20,000. It should be definite.
Now, is this one from the state, or is this one that Steve had done and you just modified it?
I made it.
Oh, you made it? Oh, nice. Nice job. Anything else for Ed or Garrett? Hearing none, we move on. Budget worksheet. So Ashley put together, Asher or Lori did this?
The budget worksheet.
Well, yeah, just for the,
no, they don't have copies of that.
oh, this is mine?
For Bill. And,
That's Bill's?
She gave you a copy.
That's
I
my
gave you a
copy?
just-
Oh, yeah, I printed that. That's, is that the final one that you did?
The one I did your last time.
Yeah, okay. That's a nice job. I don't know. I mean, it's a nice job, and it goes back to what, 2016?
16.
This will be kind of good data for next time. Any questions on the budget worksheet? So probably in March, we want to start our budget. It takes us a couple tries. March, April, and we have to have it by June 30th, I think, right, Ernie?
I'm so sorry, say,
For that.
what about March?
No, for the June, for June 30th, we have to have this done by I don't remember. the
This
date.
is usually May.
May, so we got to get started probably next, this March,
Starting on the budget for.
yeah, starting in
2023.
March. It'll take us a couple of shots to get it done.
Roger that.
Huh, all right,
You have the hearing too, the public hearing,
right.
one of the meetings.
Well, it'll be at that meeting. Yes, we got 3 months of stuff to do to present it for that meeting. Any questions for Bill, since Bill's the new captain? Hearing none, move on. Any old business? No old all new business. 6A Riverwalk, 356, 368 Howe Ave.
Come up here. Yes, please state your name and tell the board who you are and what you're doing.
Don Stanfiel, building 356 368 Riverwalk for
Howe Avenue.
Howe Avenue for PJ Home Properties. So sewer, iron,
And
and I believe you have the
Mr. Chairman, he's looking to accept the application.
This is one that we reviewed prior.
you have Al come in okay here as well, so if you have any questions, technical.
So this went through Matt already. Matt, you're all set with this, right?
Yeah, it was straightforward, so we recommended just doing an administrative review of it.
Right.
Correct.
So Matt and I and Ernie went over and reviewed this already, just prior, something pretty simple. If anybody wants to ask any questions or make a recommendation.
Just, Mr. Chairman, for clarity from my behalf, don't we need to move to accept the application before this discussion with Matt?
It's on the agenda. We're accepted. It's on the agenda, right?
So noted.
The application was accepted in January, wasn't it?
We took the application in, but I just want the board to know that we took the application in.
You want us to move to accept that?
It would be nice to have it in the minutes, I think.
Yeah.
So.
All right, based on the exception of the sewer application of January 12th, 2022, I move to approve the application of Riverfront, Riverwalk Place, I'm sorry, on the recommendation of our consultant, Weston and Sampson.
Motion.
Hey,
by
everyone, this is Eugene here. I'd like to second the motion to approve the application for 356, 368 Howe Avenue as well.
Right, remember when you guys make a motion and second, you just gotta spell out the whole address and everything. It's the right way for us to be doing it. Motion by Don,
Okay.
second by John, right? Right, John? That was you, John?
Was that Emily?
Eugene.
That was
You-
that was Eugene.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Mr. Stanfield, may I have that folder you have? We're trying to endorse here, accepted, but, accepted, I'll fill in the application number here.
I should use this color.
Right here, WPCA. Issue number is 21-107. Height 21-107. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bills rendered Weston and Sampson, $8,158.
I move to pay Weston and Sampson, the invoice for $8,158.
I second
Am I
it.
missing this one? Hold on a second. Here, I got
Pay
it.
the
I got
Weston
it, I
and
got it, I
Sampson
got it. Yeah, thank you.
invoice, $8,158.
This is for general on-call and task orders. So we have, actually, Matt,
Sure.
we have, so I'm not understanding your $8,158 here. Is this a culmination of phase A, B, task 3, task 4, task 1, and task 1?
Yes, we're splitting up the costs in a month based on what we do, so it's easier for sewer
Like for
department to
phasing.
track.
Right, for phasing. And then task 3 was the Stratford Intermediate Agreement, right?
Yeah,
Task 4 was Mohawk Place, Mohawk Drive application.
yeah. So that was for work done for the previous meeting. That it's always a invoice behind for reviewing sewer applications.
Oh, so one's a summary and is that the detail? One's a summary and one's a backup. I got it. Okay. Who made the motion on this? Motion from Don to accept the invoice from Weston and Sampson for $8,158. Who's the second?
I second.
Steve Chuckler, make the motion, please.
I did, I already did, but I'll do it again.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right, I was distracted. Motion by Don, seconded by Mr. Chuckler. Any other further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? We didn't go over yours, Ernie. Did you have anything?
Was that the superintendent's report?
Yeah,
No,
Okay.
not this time. It's just kind of like a reiteration of last month. It just nose to the grindstone and trying to keep doing what we said last month. Next month. we
the
will-
financial statement, we don't have the financial statement attached. All right, if you don't, you can get it.
There was an error in the system that she hasn't figured out yet, but she's trying to work on it.
All right, when you're done, can you email it to everybody? Well, that's almost a record. Who wants to do the Ed Hellauer thing? The oldest member of the board does the Ed Hellauer board, Don.
I make a motion that we adjourn this wonderful meeting.
That's Eddie.
That's the lady you should say. God bless you.
So moved, that's right. So moved, thank you.
Night, Matt.
Night, Matt.
Commissioner.
Hey, good night, guys. See you.